Hello, my name is Lila Allen, and this is the official day one of the happiness practice log. Um, I've spent half an hour trying to figure out why the audio would not record on the video. So I am much less introspective and much more frustrated than I was when I started. This happened yesterday, also, actually. Um, I had done a beautiful, expansive introduction video and then realized you could barely hear me. So the one that's on the introduction is a lot more concise than the original. Um, the purpose, like I said, is to talk about the things that I will be working on today as I go through my day. And one of the main issues, anxieties I am working through is manifesting money. Um, it is, much as I hate to admit it, part of the world I currently live in. And part of my work is to accept where I am, because I have to accept where I am before I can change it. Um, I have to know where I'm starting, I guess. And some sort of love-hate relationship with money, which sadly many of us have. Um, I do believe that is part of the habits we're trained into. That money has to do with our worth, and our worth is only as good as the outside opinion based on somebody's idea of what is not even contributory to society, because a lot of low paying jobs contribute a lot to our society, much more, and I say this as a bookkeeper, than many of the office jobs actually contribute to the living and working of society. Anyway, the point of today's practice is not so much about accepting money and manifesting it and connecting it with in that fashion, but approaching it from a different side, which has to do for me with that vulnerability and being open. Um, I am an introvert, and for I would say at least the last 10 years, I have been isolated. I've traveled with family. I have traveled for singing, but compared to previous years, I haven't traveled a lot in the last 10 years. Um, and we have used money as a reason not to go places, not to explore, not to expand. Can't go out and do things because really it's not affordable. And in a way, not to entertain, not to have people over, um, not to contribute to things because we don't have the money to do it. And that's a fabulous shield. Um, and it's time to release that. It is time to come out of the isolation. And that is interesting for me, not just as an introvert, um, but because it means mixing with other people. And it not only means showing myself, as I probably said yesterday, but standing up for my stuff, not standing against, but standing up, stating my opinion, my thought, my world, my reality, and allowing other people to state theirs and to allow it all to coexist. There is a set of books by Lois McMaster Bujold, Bujold. It's the Sharing Knife series. It is a fantasy. And in it, the lake walkers, it's the lake walkers and the farmers. And the lake walkers basically are the energy workers. And amongst themselves, they do a lot of energy work. But the farmers are farmers. They're the typical humans. They go out and they, own the land and have all these rules and structures. And there's not a lot of energy sharing between the two because oftentimes the farmers become enamored of the lake walkers. They start following them around. They start having this yearning. They call it beguilement. And the reason, and this may be a spoiler alert, but it has to do with how the energy is exchanged. There is so much difference between the two cultures that they're unwilling to accept a return on the energy investment. And that is a big thing I am working on. That, yes, I have a voice and I get to put myself out there, but I also get to allow other people's energies and ideas and influences and opinions to come into my life. I don't have to adhere to their opinions. I don't even have to believe them. But when I come out of isolation, as I come out of isolation, I have to allow that everybody else has an opinion, which is part of the practice. It is one of the bases that we are all of our own opinion, and nobody is right and nobody is wrong. But now it is time to allow myself to hear other people's opinions, to have them be part of my world and still be me. Some opinions, some thoughts, some ideas, some knowledge is going to stick. Some is not. I will change in the process. And maybe that was part of the fear and the isolation. Who will I be with all these newfound ideas and cool, energetic practices when I allow the outside world in? Well, it's time to find out. So that is today's happiness practice. And it is not so much standing outside and going, okay, world, here you are. But as I go through the day, as I work on the happiness book and Destiny Foretold, as I work on our finances, as I work for my other clients, it is allowing the practice is going to be to release the anxiety up here. What if, what if, what if? Just bring it down and to allow myself to stop for a minute, to take a breath, and to know that my core, my beliefs and my truths, which are just for this moment, are sound, and that I am me doing all these things, being in this world, living to the best that I can. And I am doing the best that I can. And being open and allowing other people in and putting myself out there does not diminish, does not change the possibilities of benefits or detractions. See, I told you these are going to be very rambly. And in fact, it's not even about the words. It is about the feeling that every time I get And what if, and my brain starts going supernova, that I stop and take a breath and say, I choose to be open and to feel the strength and the expansion here in my center. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of the journey. And I hope you have a great day.